Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. It's time now, guys, for me to answer your questions. Thank you to everybody who posted me questions on my 15,000 subs Q&A video. And thank you once again to everybody for helping me reach 15,000 subs. It means so much to me. I have 23 questions from that video. I want to say this right now. I'm sorry to anybody who posted questions that I do not answer. If I would have answered every single question that was posted, we would be sitting here for over an hour, and I don't think you guys want to sit here for an hour long listening to me to answer questions. Unless it's a live stream, which I guess is kind of different. Anyways, let's get into now the first question. Let's go. These are not in any type of order, so understand that. I just kind of put them in a random order to kind of have some variety within the questions so we're not constantly answering very similar questions in a span amount of time. Okay, I'm wasting time. Let's go. First question. Isabella, have you ever considered trying to watch Supernatural? Or is it just not something you're interested in? If so, why? I started watching Supernatural a couple of months ago, actually, like the first season. My friend was telling me about that I should start watching the show, so I started watching a little bit of it, and I got like maybe like 9 or 10 episodes in, and I kind of fell off because that's when the actual show started airing again. Arrow Season 5, Flash Season 3, Supergirl Season 2, Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, so Supernatural kind of fell off. We're kind of in a break now, so I might go back to watching more of it, but as of right now, I'm not currently watching it, but I have seen a little bit of it, but I'm not that far into the show. I think it's like on season, what, 13 or 14 at this point, or maybe just 12, but regardless, the show's been going for a long time. There's a lot of stuff to catch up, so right now, no. So thank you so much for the question, Isabella. Next up, Burmaburn. I hope I'm saying your name right. But first, by the way, I'm bad with names, okay? Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's go. Burmaburn, what do you want from Ben Affleck's Batman movie? Good question. Obviously Batman, Alfred. I want Barbara Gordon. Now, the interesting thing is that as of right now, we don't know if Barbara Gordon is Oracle or if she's still Batgirl in this universe. We don't know if the Killing Joke has taken place yet or if it ever will. Who knows? But I would love to see Barbara Gordon. I prefer Batgirl, and then we do the Killing Joke at some point. But if it's Oracle, then I'm fine. Barbara Gordon. I want Nightwing. I want Dick Grayson. And he's already Nightwing now. Dick Grayson's not Robin. He's Nightwing. We saw the suit. That was Jason Todd. We're all assuming it's Jason Todd's. I think they actually confirmed it's Jason Todd. But I want to see Nightwing. He doesn't have to have a big role, but I want to see Nightwing. Now, in terms of villains, they've confirmed Deathstroke. But I would kind of like to see a little bit of Joker in the movie. Not like where he's kind of taking over. He actually is the main villain, and Deathstroke is just for hire situation, you know, like, well, Joker's paying him to go kill Batman. I don't want that. I just want Joker a little bit in the movie. We saw a little bit of Batman and Joker, but they really didn't have an interaction in Suicide Squad. So I kind of want that in the Batman movie, if I had to pick personally. But, yeah, that's Barbara Gordon. I want to see Nightwing, and I want to see a little bit of Joker in the Batman movie. The first one. After that, when we get to, like, the sequel and the third one, we can go a little bit more expanding-wise in terms of his side, like the Gotham City and all the things that's involved with it. But we'll see. So next question. Thank you so much for the question. Next question we have is Ragnarok Omega. You are a great reactor, Chainsaw. Thank you so much. How do you think the Fantastic Four would be in the MCU? That's the first part of the question. How would I think? It's easy. Fox has to give up the rights. I think that Fox has failed on every front. I mean, I enjoyed the Fantastic Four 2015, right? Yeah, the reboot. For what it was, I didn't love the film. I enjoyed it for what it was, as a body horror film, and not so much as a superhero film. But the film failed. It just failed horribly. So for me, Fox needs to give up the rights, and I think that the Marvel Cinematic Universe should get Fantastic Four rights, along with Galactus and Silver Surfer. And they'll be able to handle it well. I mean, look what they did with Spider-Man. He was kind of failing a little bit on Sony's side, and then as soon as Marvel picked it up, he was amazing in Civil War, and Spider-Man Homecoming looks amazing. So Marvel has done it right with Spider-Man, even though they don't technically have the rights back. But I mean, Fox needs to give up the rights. Fantastic Four needs to go back to Marvel, in my personal opinion. Fox, you've already failed at it a lot of times. Give it up. Next part of your question, what's your favorite superhero team from Marvel and DC? DC, it's very easy. Justice League. It's so simple. I know it's the basic answer, but it's the truth. Justice League is my favorite team from the DC. Now, Marvel, you might think I'll say Avengers. I love the Avengers, But my first Marvel team love was X-Men. Why? Because I watched the X-Men animated series from the 90s all the time when I was a little kid. I could not get over that show, and even though some of the X-Men films have not been great, I do love the X-Men films. For me personally, not talking about, let's not talk about movies. Talk about comics and other things of the sort, the TV shows and stuff like that. Not the Marvel Cinematic Universe. X-Men is still my favorite superhero team up, but Avengers is close. But X-Men is #1, in my personal opinion, as my favorite superhero team from Marvel. Okay, thank you so much for the questions. Next up, Mr. One Singularity. Aliens or Predator? This is a hard question. I was like, because I saw it and I started thinking about it, and I said, what do I pick? Because at one point I was Aliens. And then this morning, as I'm picking the questions I'll be answering in this video, I went Predator. I gotta go with Aliens because to me they're more scarier. Predator is scary as fuck, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed the Aliens more. I do. I like the Aliens movies more than the Predator films, so I'll go with Aliens. But I think just design-wise, the Aliens look scarier than Predator. I gotta go Aliens. But that's a good comparison. That's a good thing to pick either or. That's a good one. I will have to say that. Thank you so much for the question. MJ Nation. Got a couple of questions here I do want to answer. So, sup Chainsaw, I have 3 questions. Okay. Number 1, what is your favorite Trivium album? If you don't know what Trivium is wow, English. I woke up like an hour ago. My favorite album, Trivium. I gotta go Shogun. I love. I'm trying to remember all the names of the albums. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I gotta go Shogun. Not because I remember it, because it just stuck out with me so much. Yeah, I gotta go Shogun. I gotta go Shogun for sure. But I love all their work. In Waves, I'm kind of on. And Silence in the Snow, I believe that's the last record they put out. I'm not really a huge fan of. I kind of think Trivium's, I don't know. Anyways, second question. What kind of kid were you in high school? I guess you could consider I was, not emo, not goth, kind of just like a metalhead, I guess. I wore a lot of black. I didn't wear a lot of stuff to be considered goth. I was just a kid who wore a lot of black shirts, not so much black pants, but I just wore a lot of black shirts, a lot of band shirts. I hung out with a huge variety of people. Like, I knew people that were in the goth territory. I knew people that were just kind of nerds, because I loved Marvel and DC and stuff like that in video games. And I knew people that were kind of in the middle, where they're not like popular kids, but they're just kind of in the middle. I knew a variety of people. I knew a lot of people, and even people I really didn't talk to, I kind of just knew. Like, I just kind of knew them a little, and a lot of people would speak to me in the hallways that I really didn't talk to. So, come on, voice, work with me. But yeah, I knew a variety of people. I don't know what you would consider me. I guess if I look back on what I was in high school, like if I was able to travel back and see myself a day in high school, just a kid who just hung out and just knew people and just wore a lot of black shirts like I still do now. So nothing really has changed except the fact that I used to have long hair at a point. But that's really it. So yeah. Number 3, which do you prefer, purchasing CDs or downloading? Keep up the good work. So at a point, I purchased a lot of CDs, and I still do purchase CDs from time to time, but I have started downloading more music from iTunes specifically because it's easier for me, because there's an FYE, which is a humongous music store that has been around for a long time. There was one about 20 minutes from me, and it is no longer there. I could go to Walmart, Target, Best Buy to get CDs, but their selection is not that big, and it's easier if I'm able to download it on iTunes and put it on my iPod instantly at that moment, and then I can just take it to work the next day and listen to it while I work. So right now it's more downloading and less purchasing CDs, but I purchased quite a lot of CDs. Like, I had to actually package them up and move them over to my house because I'll be moving soon, and there was probably about 50 or 60 CDs, maybe even more, So, yeah, I purchased quite a bit. But as of right now, downloading is a little bit easier for me right now. So, we'll see what happens in the future. Thank you so much for the questions, MJ. Next up, V3GA42 Vega 42. I'll just call you 42. Which character would you want in the CWverse, not from the main 7 Justice League? So, I think it's pretty simple. I want Dr. Fate. I love that character. I love... The character was on Smallville, but I want Dr. Fate in the CWverse. Now, on what show, I don't know. But I would like to see Dr. Fate. We had Constantine, but I'd like to see Constantine back again. Trying to think. Blue Beetle would be really cool. Batgirl, even though we don't have Batman. I love Batgirl, though. Love that character. Nightwing. Since we have a connection on Supergirl, Batwoman. Yeah, we got Maggie Sawyer on Supergirl, and she's connected to Batwoman. Bring on Batwoman. Let's see what happens. Yeah, thank you so much for the questions. Other question, not questions. Okay, Russell Cathar. Well, I'm saying your name right there. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. We got 3 questions. Number 1, which would you rather have? All of the DC shows or combine them all into one Justice League TV show that was only 16 episodes per season? So, okay. We either have Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Legends, or they all combine into one show called Justice League TV series, and it's 16 episodes per season. It's a good question, but I'm actually going to answer probably how... I'm going to answer differently than you all might expect. I'm going to go all the shows. I don't want a Justice League show. The crossover shows that it works, and I like a crossover event each year, like this magnitude of this type of crossover, but I don't want it for 16 episodes, because that means it'd have to literally... There'd be episodes where characters would not appear because they have to serve a... Like, each character has to serve a purpose in the Justice League show. And the only way that works is if we have to have certain characters not be in certain episodes so other characters can get the spotlight and them get attention. So I'd prefer it to be where they all have their own separate show and we can all enjoy the shows together, you know, instead of them all combined into one. We can just kind of enjoy them for what they are separately. Then they combine for the crossover event. Number 2, if you could take characters out of any of the DC shows, which ones would you choose? Take out characters. Supergirl, I would not take out anybody, except I think at the end of Season 2, I would take out Amell. I don't think Amell should stay around for Season 3. I think Amell, they're using Amell as the Superman placeholder, because as soon as Superman left in the end of Episode 2 on Supergirl Season 2, Amell woke up. So, he's not playing the Superman role. But I feel like that they only have him on the show because they had Superman and they're able to do this whole storyline. I just have Amell taken off after Season 2. The Flash, there's no character I want to take off on The Flash. Not one. Not one character. I think they all serve a purpose in their own way. Arrow. People are screaming at their computer monitor. Felicity. Take Felicity off. I'm not taking Felicity off. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Felicity was terrible, and the way they handled that was horrible, but I'm not taking Felicity off. She plays an integral part in Team Arrow, and there's no reason to take her off. I'm trying to think. I don't know. This is a hard question. But for Legends of Tomorrow, I think I want them to take off Heatwave. Heatwave is not really a hero, and I like the idea of when they had Captain Cold and Heatwave on the Wave Rider and Legends of Tomorrow Season 1, and they were a part of the team, because they both were villains, and they kind of were working with each other and not working so much with the team overall. So I would prefer it to Heatwave to be taken off of Legends of Tomorrow and put someone else in there, like another hero. That would be a good addition, because I feel like that we can have Heatwave serve the actual purpose of his character, which is a villain on The Flash. in my personal opinion. But it's a very hard question, but thank you so much for posting. I really didn't think about it till just now, but there's not a lot of characters I would remove from these shows. Number 3, who's your favorite actor on the CW? It's simple answers, but it's either Grant Gustin as the Flash or Stephen Amell as Green Arrow. I might say at a point, maybe after a couple more seasons, I might say Melissa Benoist as Supergirl, but I'll stick with those two. But I'll also give a nod to, I'm trying to think. I'll give a nod. I don't remember his actual name, but the actor who plays Cisco, I'll give him a nod as well, because I really enjoy his character a lot. Thank you so much for the questions. Next up, Shadow Phoenix. Wow, I almost said that wrong. Shadow Phoenix. What's up? Q&A, congrats. If they ever made a live-action Batman Beyond series for TV or movie, would you love it? I would love it if it was a series. A movie that's cool, but we have Ben Affleck as Batman. If we do a Batman solo film, then we jump ahead 10, 15 years into the future, and then we have a Batman Beyond film. Makes no sense because we're going in chronological order in the timeline for DC right now, and there's no reason to have a Batman Beyond movie placed in there soon. TV series, hell yes. Because that means we could see the older Bruce Wayne, and then have Terry McGinnis as Batman Beyond, and then we have this awesome series. Now, if they did a TV series for Batman Beyond, do I want it to be kind of similar to the animated show? Kind of. I do. But I kind of want them to take a little bit more risks and do different things in the TV show. So, yeah, I would love it if it was a series, but not so much as a movie. But yes, I want a live-action TV series revolving somewhere around the Batman and stuff. But Gotham, I'm not counting that. Jack 14. 2 questions here. Number 1, what is the best superhero villain rivalry besides the Joker and Batman? I'll give you one for DC and one for Marvel. The DC other one would have to be Lex Luthor and Superman. I love that rivalry. Now, sometimes they've teamed up sometimes, but I don't. It is what it is, but the rivalry's still there. They both hate each other. Well, Superman doesn't really hate. Well, he might hate, but yeah, I gotta give them the nod. For Marvel, I had to think about this for a little bit, but I have to go with Spider-Man and Venom. That rivalry they have is just intense. They are rivals to the core, so I got to give Spider-Man and Venom the edge. I might have said, I almost said Patrick Stewart, Professor X and Magneto, but I got to give the slight edge to Spider-Man and Venom. Number 2, what is your least favorite Marvel Cinematic movie? I got to go with Iron Man 2. It was a rushed film. Everyone says it's rushed, but it was rushed. And I feel like they could have did more with that film, but they kind of dropped the ball, in my personal opinion, on it. So, there you go. Next up, Calm Dunbar. I'm a newbie to your channel. I'm glad I found it. I'm glad you did too. If all of your favorite TV shows were going to get canceled, which one would you save and why? The reason why I put this question here is not because, oh, I want to pick Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl. I would save Game of Thrones. I would save that show because I want to see the ending to that show. I want to see it so bad, far more than any of the DC CW shows. I want to see it. I want to see the ending more than The Walking Dead. And if Breaking Bad was still on TV and was still airing, I would rather see Game of Thrones ending than Breaking Bad ending. That's how much I love the show. I would save Game of Thrones out of all the other shows. I would say that just because I want to see the ending. That's why I would save it. Because I want to see how this all ends. Because I'm so invested on these characters. I want to see how the Game of Thrones ends. Thank you so much for the question. Joe Mason Gaming. Do you think we should have gotten the Justice League movie later in the DCEU? And just use this time to release solo movies for each character and then bring them all together for JL? Or is this the right time for a JL movie? Congrats on 15K, fully deserved. Thank you so much, Joe Mason. Yeah, the Justice League movie is being kind of rushed, but DC wants to take a different approach than Marvel. Marvel set up their universe by having solo film, solo film, solo film, solo film, and then we had the Avengers, the first team up. DC kind of had a solo where they went Superman, Man of Steel, right? And then we had Batman v Superman, which had Batman, and then we had cameos of the Justice League, and we had a little bit more of a supporting role of Wonder Woman. And then we have Suicide Squad, which had a huge variety of characters, plus Batman cameo. And then we had, next Wonder Woman, and then we have Justice League. So, should they have taken the Marvel approach, where they did solo film, solo film, solo film, solo film, solo film, solo film, do a lot of solo films, then do Justice League? Maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. Right now, the movies they've made are a profit. They've made money. But critically, from critics and fans, not so much. They're not really succeeding. But we'll see what happens. But I think the DC is just trying to take a different approach. But we'll see if it succeeds in the end. Because right now, it's too early to tell if this is the right time for the Justice League movie. I don't know. But the way the Batman v Superman ended, and the way they're approaching this DC extended universe, it's the DC cinematic universe, okay? It might be the right direction, but I don't know until we see Justice League. I don't know. But, good question, but, yeah, I'm not really sure. Thank you so much, Joe. Next up, we have 2 questions. Pretty long, but I do want to answer these questions. So, congrats on 15K. Thank you so much. But you really deserve it. Thank you. First question. I have been watching quite a long time, and in your 8,000 sub Q&A, I asked, if you could watch one, act in one, and forget about one, what would you do out of Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl? I was just wondering if I could ask you again, as you said you hope that I will change my mind at the end of the last season and the start of the current season. So, I actually remember this. This guy asked a question. We have Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, right? And he's asking if I could watch one of those shows, act in one, and forget about one, which ones would I pick? In terms of what show would I act in, what show would I watch, and what one show, Jesus Christ, I would forget. So, and I actually went back and actually watched the 8,000 subs Q&A because of this question. And my original answer was I would watch Arrow, act in Flash, and forget about Supergirl. So how would I answer it this time? I would act in Arrow, watch Flash, forget Supergirl, still. I love Supergirl Season 2. It is way better than Season 1 so far. But I gotta stick with that because I still love The Flash even more. And Arrow has completely flipped, and the Season 5 has been phenomenal so far. I want to act on Arrow. I want to act on Arrow so bad. So it's such a good damn show now. So thank you so much for that question, man. Question 2. Also within the 8,000 subs Q&A, I got the vibe, no Cisco pun intended. You weren't very impressed with Arrow Season 4. I was wondering if the end of the season and the start of Season 5 since then, if your opinion has changed. My opinion has not changed for Arrow Season 4. Arrow Season 4 is still a bad season. It was the worst season of the show. Season 5 has turned things around amazingly. Like, it has gotten so much better in Season 5, and I think that's because of how badly received Season 4 was, in my personal opinion. I feel like if Season 4 was mediocre at best, Season 5 would not have really pushed themselves to make Season 5 better. I don't think Arrow would have pushed themselves to make Season 5 a better season. So, I think with the horrible reception of Season 4 and how it ended, because I think the Season 4 ending was terrible. I think that with how poorly received Season 4 was, Season 5 is now working their ass off to make it a way better show. So, my opinion has not changed. Season 4 is still god-awful horrible, but we'll see how Season 5 continues to go. But so far, they're doing amazingly well. Thank you so much for the question, Steven. Next up, the Movie Freak. Congrats, man. Do you think the CW should make a Green Lantern TV show part of the Arrowverse, since Friday is the only day they don't air a show? If not Green Lantern, or which DC character would you like to see? Maybe a Justice League show? Can I get a shout-out? Thanks again, you're awesome. Well, there's your shout-out. Do I think CW should make a Green Lantern TV show? No, it would cost too much money. If not Green Lantern, or which DC character would you like to see? As a Friday show, Constantine Season 2. I want Constantine to return. I think his appearance on Arrow Season 4 was a highlight. His show, the first season, was great in my personal opinion, and I think he deserves another shot. I think Constantine deserves another season on the CW that will actually give him, I think, a better show, I think. And the maybe Justice League show, I've already answered that. I really don't want a Justice League show. But thanks so much for the question, Movie Freak. But yeah, I'll go with Constantine as the Friday show. I would love, don't get me wrong, I would love to see Green Lantern in the Arrowverse, but not as a show. Thank you so much for the questions. Arkham Legend, what were your thoughts about Iris's death in The Flash? Spoilers! It's not real though. I don't believe it one bit. I don't believe it. It's not real. It was a shock, to be honest. If you saw my reaction, it was a shock to see it. But you know that's not how it's going to end. Season 3 is not going to end that way. They're not going to kill Iris. My theory is that someone else is going to be killed in that position instead of Iris, due to Barry changing things in the timeline or him making decisions that alter that scene entirely. So Iris will not die. It's too obvious. If she was actually going to die, they would not have shown that. Thank you so much for the question. Audrey Garcia. Hope I'm saying that name right. Congrats on the 15K subs. So, the DC TV shows on the CW are all awesome in their own ways. But if you could change one thing on each show, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends, what would it be and why? If I could change, not a character, but change one thing about the shows, each shows, what would I do? So, let's go in order. Supergirl. Superman appears more on the show. It's that simple. I know we don't want to overshadow Supergirl with Superman there, but I want Superman appearing on more of the show. To me, he didn't overshadow Supergirl on her show. I thought he was a fantastic addition, and I think Superman needs to appear more on Supergirl. That's my change for Supergirl. For Flash, I want more appearances of other Flashes. I want Jay Garrick to appear more. I want Jesse Quick to appear more. And now that we're getting Wally West in the back half of season 3, I guess that's a win. So, but I would like to see more appearances of speedsters that we know, or maybe speedsters we don't know. You know, it is the Flash. There's a multiverse. It'd be cool to kind of see the Earth 4 Flash and see who that is. That'd be kind of cool. Just, you know, I think it'd be a cool addition to kind of see more of these speedsters, whether they're good or bad. It'd be kind of cool to see more of them. For Arrow, I don't know what I would change by Arrow. People are screaming again. Felicity. I don't know what I would change right now because season 5 is so damn good right now. I would have changed how the mid-season finale would have ended for Arrow season 5. We got the big cliffhanger at the end, and hopefully you know what it is. But I would have changed. I think I would have preferred them, not change that specifically, but I wanted the reveal of who's behind the mask of Prometheus. That's the one thing I would have changed about the season 5 so far. In terms of the one thing I would change on the show is that they all know who it is behind the mask at the end of the mid-season finale for Arrow season 5. But in terms of the actual show, what would it change? Maybe Oliver being in the suit more and being more mean. I don't know, because the shows are so damn good right now. I don't know. For Legends of Tomorrow, this is good. This is good. Legends of Tomorrow, I would change where they would go in terms of the Wave Rider. Now let me explain a little bit. So it feels sometimes, especially during season 1 and a little bit in season 2, they go to certain areas just to do an episode about it. You know what I mean? They went to the Civil War era, I think. Yeah, Civil War era, where they fought zombies. They only picked the Civil War era because they haven't done it yet. They picked 1400s Japanese. I think it was in the 1400s. They went to somewhere in Japan in the timeline, and they had a whole episode in Japan, early Japan. They only did it because they haven't done it yet. I want them to go to places that serve a main purpose, not because they haven't done an episode in that era. They haven't done an episode in that place. I feel like that Legends of Tomorrow needs to focus more on making a better story and not so much just going to different places just because they can, because they have a time ship. You know what I mean? They need to focus more on making good story. Legends of Tomorrow is a good show, but they need to focus on making better stories instead of just going someplace. Like the mid-season finale, they went to 1920s Chicago just because they could do Al Capone. I get it, but you only did that so you can have Al Capone on the show, because you can't do it on any of the other shows. So just make a better story. Just make it better instead of going to places. That's my personal opinion. Thank you so much for the question. Farewell34, what is up? 30 minutes in. Damn, okay. Congrats. Keep up the vids. Thank you so much. Question: if you could react to one show and have the lead actor or actress react with you, what show would it be? It's obvious, Arrow. I wanted Stephen Amell sitting next to me when I watched that mid-season finale episode. A close second, I would have to say, I would love for Kit Harrington, who's on Game of Thrones, to sit next to me. I haven't reacted to the shows, because I watched all the shows, without reacting to them, but I would have loved Kit Harrington sitting next to me while I watched the ending of season 6 and how everything was about to basically go down before the season ended. I would love to see Kit Harrington, who plays Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, to sit next to me while that all happened. But I gotta go Stephen Amell for Arrow. Thank you so much for the question, man. MO54321 Manu. Interesting name. What has been the best CW mid-season finale? Mine is Arrow Season 2, Episode 9. That is a good one. The best mid-season finale. I don't know. I'll have to say, though, Arrow Season 5, that was a really good mid-season finale. Didn't they reveal who the Reverse Flash was in the Flash Season 1 mid-season finale, I think? But the Arrow mid-season finale for Season 2 was good, too. I gotta give that props. But I don't know. I think the Arrow Season 5 right now, until we learn more, Arrow Season 5 mid-season finale, I think, was my personal favorite as of right now. But then again, I haven't watched a lot of the shows in a long... I haven't watched any of the past seasons in a long time, so... maybe my answer will change once the shows end and I'm able to rewatch all the shows again. So, but thank you for the question. Kieran Ree, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Favorite Flash episode and favorite Flash villain. My favorite Flash episode has to be the season finale for Season 2 against Zoom. I love that episode. It has a lot of crazy things in it. The defeat of Zoom, the Black Flash being created. They did their own version of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they also did the reveal of who the real Jay Garrick is. A lot of fantastic stuff happened in the season finale for Season 2 of Flash. I gotta give that as my personal favorite as of right now. Favorite Flash villain, I'm still gonna have to stick with Reverse Flash. Zoom is a close second. I'm talking about the show, since you referenced the show here in the first part of the question. Reverse Flash is still my favorite villain, because that was a big twist and a big way to kind of introduce us to the world of the Flash, as having Reverse Flash as the main villain. So I'll stick with Reverse Flash, but Zoom is a close second. Savitar, I need to learn more about Savitar before I start deciding where he ranks in the Flash villains list. Thank you so much for the questions. Falia, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Can you react to more honest trailers? I will react to more honest trailers, but honestly, I've reacted to a lot of honest trailers, and I kind of want to add some variety to my channel besides reacting to the same thing every week. That's why I haven't done a lot of character voice comparisons recently, because I used to react to a character voice comparison every single weekend, and it used to be where I would react, if I knew the movie or TV show, I would react every single Tuesday to a new honest trailer. And I feel like that gets a little bit repetitive, and I don't want my channel to be constantly doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It gets really boring, and I would get really bored and sick of it. So I will at some point, but I'm kind of not. I'm trying not to react to every single thing put out, because if I do, I would get so tired of YouTube. Thank you so much for the question. We have we're on question 20 out of 23. We're getting close. XKiller744, Marvel or DC? Both. That's a simple answer. Both. Love both. I don't love one more than the other. I love both equally. I have I've never once said I think Marvel is better than DC. I've never once said I think DC is better than Marvel. I love both equally. That's the honest answer. Thanks so much for the question. Sweetie Rays, do you think Flash will get so fast in order to beat Savitar? I don't think he actually will. I think what's going to happen, Savitar is going to be taken on by Flash, Kid Flash, Jesse Quick, Jay Garrick. Who else? We got 4 speedsters. Numbers. 4. And I think we'll probably have a couple more people helping out to take out Savitar. Or they'll find a way where they don't have to beat Savitar by speed. They'll figure out something else, because I don't know if the Flash is going to be able to beat Savitar. But then again, he's beaten every other villain, so maybe. We'll see. But as of right now, I don't know. I would love it to see if we saw Flash, Kid Flash, Jesse Quick, Jay Garrick take on Savitar and beat him, all 4. That'd be freaking badass. Thank you so much for the question. So, question 22. Symon, whatever. English, wow. We're 35 minutes in. My throat's killing me. Hey, man, congrats. Okay, my question is, which metal bands do you like except Metallica? A ton. Between the Buried and Me, Whitechapel, got your Megadeth, Slayer, got your Iron Maiden. There's a lot of fucking bands. Protest the Hero, Trivium, the Contortionist, Anthrax a little bit, Testament. I'm trying to remember band names. Conducting from the Grave. God, there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of bands. If I sat here for listing off all the bands I've kind of heard, it would take a long time. And if you're going to make a reaction videos about different TV shows other than DC, like Vikings, no. But thanks to greetings from Israel. Thank you so much, Mike. But I will not be reacting to other TV shows besides the DC shows, because it's already bad enough that I react to these 4 shows. I love it, but it takes a lot of time. So, the only way I would start reacting to more shows... Now, I'll react to Game of Thrones once it comes back next year. But for right now, I just can't. I just can't handle any more shows, because I literally don't have the time to do the DC shows to begin with. But I do it because I like reacting to those shows. But I just don't have the time to do any more. But thank you so much for the questions. Last one. What is one place from a TV show / movie / comic that you would like to visit? Also, congrats. Your channel always makes me smile. Thank you. So, what is the one place I want to visit from a TV show, movie, or comic? I'll pick one for 3. I'll pick one for 3. Comics, I want to visit the Hall of Justice. I want to visit the Hall of Justice from the comics. Or the Watchtower from Justice League, personally. Movie, I would love to visit the Death Star. Very simple, very basic, but I do want to visit the Death Star. TV show, it's a tie between Star Labs and the Arrow Cave. And that's the places I want to visit from each of those 3. Kind of switched up the question, but there you go. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. 38 minutes in, basically. Holy shit, this thing was long. But I answered a lot of your questions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned some stuff about me throughout this Q&A. And hopefully I answer your question. Once again, I will say this. I apologize to anybody who posted questions that I did not answer. Like I said, they take a long time. We're 38 minutes in. And I didn't even answer, I didn't even answer half the questions that were posted. So, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.